It is good, it's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and ranking our top 10 small forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. So, small forward position, you guys can see some of the best ones. Now, I'm going to just say it right now. Larry Bird did not make our top 10. He's not very good. I don't have a gameplay of Larry Bird yet because I don't have the card, but I'm just telling y'all right now, Larry Bird is not very good. So he didn't make the list. There's going to be some other guys that didn't make the list that you guys might think so, but that's all in good fun. Now, a guy such as, I'm just going to throw out a name, Kobe Bryant, right? Nobody's running him at the small forward position, so he's not going to make the list. Whereas a guy like Ron Artest, he didn't make the list, could be at the small forward position because people actually run him there. So that's something that I do with my tier list that's a little different than some other people is. If a guy, does run there sometimes, I'm going to maybe put them on multiple lists, such as even a guy like Karl Malone, who will be on both the small forward and power forward list. Because again, some people run him at the small forward position, some people run him at that power forward position. Now we're going to start off here at number 10 with Pink Diamond Carmelo Anthony, Pro Pass Reward. Now, am I a big fan of Melo? No. And it's not that I hate Carmelo. It's not that I don't think this card provides anything for you guys on the court, because I actually do. The problem with me and Melo is this, his defense. I mean, defensively, he's just overall so mid, so mediocre, and so it's hard for me to hype the card up anymore. I don't hate Melo, and I do think number 10 is the perfect spot because offensively, with his release, you can still use it and have a lot of success with it. Melo based on quick. Alex English has this base, but it's only on normal. Melo 6'7", again, great release. That's really what's going to carry this card. Now, does he do enough, again, for me to put him any higher? No. D-Book dribble style is nice. Normal leaner is fine. But it comes down to this. I feel like the lack of defense, or the not great defense for Carmelo Anthony, really does hold this card back. Still solid enough to plug in here at number 10 on my list. Number 9, we got Diamond Kawhi Leonard. This is a perfect example of a card that can play both at the small forward and shooting guard position. And he probably, I think I did have him on the shooting guard list, and he deserves to be on the small forward list as well. In my opinion, one of the best on-ball defenders in the entire game. I don't think it gets much better than what Kawhi Leonard can do on the court. I just feel like it's maybe his own defensive stance. I don't know if it's his player, but I don't know what it is, why this card defends better than a lot of people, but this card is so good. Now, when you look at the defensive badges, obviously the card is so elite, but that doesn't even tell the whole story because I'm telling you, it's his like defensive stance or something, the Kawhi Leonard motion style maybe the reason he's so good. I don't know. I don't know why he defends so good, but I struggle when I'm on offense when Kawhi's guarding me more than anybody else. And again, I don't have the right reason for that. I don't know exactly why that is, but I'm telling you, defensively, he is an absolute menace on ball. He should not be as good as he is, but this card's so good. You're never going to miss with his release either. And I think when people talk about 3-and-D guys, it's why Kawhi Leonard's really respected, because everybody knows that his release super easy to time, super easy to green, and everybody knows on ball how good the card is defensively. Just as a complete overall card, Kawhi Leonard is a force to be reckoned with in my team and definitely deserving of this number 9 spot on my small forward tier list. At my number 8, Pink Diamond AK-47. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I went back and forth with this Haywood Highsmith base all year long. Initially I hated it, and then I used it, and I didn't love it, but it wasn't the worst. Now I'm back to the point of I do not like this release. And again, I might go back and forth even more. Again, opinions change, and that's okay. But I think that's my biggest red flag with AK. It's just the release. And I'm not saying it's unusable. I'm not saying like it's, the worst release in the game, because it's not. It's a usable release, and it's super easy to time, easy to green. It's just so slow and so baited. And I think that's my problem with AK. Defensively, card is off the charts good. There's no question about it. I mean, defensively, he is one of the best cards that we do have in my team. The problem is offensively, right? With his mediocre release, I mean, is not great attacking the rim. I just feel like he doesn't do a ton for you. Very similar to a Kawhi Leonard. The one thing for Kawhi is I think even on ball, he's going to be a little better defensively, and I like Kawhi's release better. One thing about it, though, AK taller. AK is a little more versatile, especially switching on to bigs, which is why I do have AK one step higher than Kawhi at my number 8. At my number 7, another guy that might be on both the power forward and small forward list, Pink Diamond Thurl Bailey. As I've gotten to use Thurl Bailey, I still am not the biggest fan of his release. I know some people love his release. I'm just not in that same boat. I think it's fine. I just think it's a little slow. For me, though, he does everything else on the court at an elite level. Defends well, rebounds the ball well. Even, again, his release, not, in my opinion, the best, but I still think it's better than AK's, and so I think that has to matter for something. Thurl Bailey is free in a MyTEAM Unlimited if you win 20 games, basically, in a 6 weeks. I know it started a couple of weeks ago, but if you won 20 games in a 6 weeks, that's how long you have to do it, you get the pink diamond Thurl Bailey, and I think this card's fine. So let's say, you know, you really do play a lot of Unlimited, and you got Thurl Bailey, and you're wondering, Ty, should I look to replace him? Well, I'd say this. He's still one of, in my opinion, the best small forwards that we do have in my team, especially for free. Thurl Bailey, 6'11", decent release. Obviously, attacking the rim really solid with the Hall of Fame precision dunker as well. I go as far as saying kind of underrated at this stage. At my number 6, Pink Diamond KD. And there's going to be some people that are mad at me and think KD should be higher. I'd phrase it like this. I actually don't hate KD at all. But when I'm comparing him to some of my other top small forwards, I cannot put Kevin Durant any higher. Look, offensively, he's really solid. But the thing that holds him back is he can't really move, and his release is just a little slow for my liking. Sure, he's going to green basically every shot you shoot with him. Sure, defensively, he's just fine. But I'm just telling you, the card's not perfect. One Hall of Fame defensive badge in the entire game. Release is a little bit baited. Movement-wise, not good. It's just the card is not complete. I'm sorry. Until he gets a new release, I can't sit here and hype up KD too much. Again, you guys want to run KD, do what you got to do. I have Kevin Durant and do not run him at all. At my number 5, Diamond Paolo Banchero. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. What? You got Banchero over KD? I've used both the cards, and yes, I do. Why? Banchero, in my opinion, defensively, his player build, his defensive badge is just as good as KD. And I prefer Banchero's catch and shoot release to Kevin Durant. It's really that simple, that easy. I think it is preference based between KD and Banchero. Most people probably would prefer KD, but I just like Banchero's wide player model player build. And I just think this card gives you a ton on the court. Again, if you don't want to run Banchero, if you don't like this card, if you didn't get him like DBG, you don't have to hype this card up. But he was free, and if you got Paolo Banchero for free, definitely a card I still think you can use to this day. It's crazy. He came out in the same set as AK, and I do think Banchero, side by side, is better than Andre Kirilenko, most of all because of that release. At my number 4, Adam Morrison, 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, hot spots forever. Nobody really talks about this card anymore, and I think a lot of the reason is a lot of people didn't get this card. I was one of the rare people that actually locked in for him. But here's what I'll say about Adam Morrison. The card is offensively probably the best card on this list. The problem is defensively, he's just not great. I don't even want to sit here and say he's bad defensively because I don't even think that's the truth. He's just not great. He's not next level good. Now, offensively, sharpshooting, absolutely elite. Problem is that Jerry West upper. A lot of people hate the Jerry West upper. I think it's bad, but at this stage, I've kind of got used to it. I'm not obviously a big fan of the Zach LaVine dribble style as well. And so, in my opinion, Adam Morrison's not perfect. He's not. He needs a new upper. Again, I don't love this. I know the Zach LaVine dribble style is fine. I just don't love it. For me, though, still has the Trey leaner. Still offensively, in my opinion, probably the best small forward in the entire game. That's where I'm at with Adam Morrison. Don't necessarily think, you guys should go and lock him in at this stage, but offensively, card is absolutely elite. At my number 3, Pink Diamond Karl Malone. I know a lot of people don't like Karl Malone and won't run Karl Malone because of who he was in real life. And I get that. If that's you, I respect it. But my job is to tell you guys who's the top 10 small forwards in the game, and this guy makes the list. This card is so good. I'm going to ask it like this. What does Karl Malone not do on the court? And you guys could be like, oh, but he doesn't have speed booster. Oh, but Ty, he doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Okay, I get it. Catch and shoot situation, his release is really good. Karl Malone base, really good. Defensively, elite. Wide player model, does everything at an elite level. Rebounding wise, elite. Everything this card is about is so good, especially for what I need on the court, especially defensively. I get it if you want to pick apart, oh, but Ty doesn't have hot spots from above the break. I get that. That is important, that is valuable, and that is something Malone doesn't have. But when I'm looking at the full picture at the small forward position, it does not get much better than Karl Malone. I've got him at number 3 as far as complete small forwards in my team. At At my number 2, Pink Diamond Scottie Pippen. Now, with or without the duo, I don't really care. Obviously, with the duo, Scottie Pippen is going to be even better. But without the duo, he's just fine. It's not like he needs the duo to still be usable. Without the duo, here's what you're looking at. Hall of Fame posterizer, precision dunker, catch and shoot corner specialist, Hall of Fame blow by speed booster. Basically, every defensive badge you could ask for in the game. 92 3-ball, 95 speed, 98 lateral quickness. Basically maxed interior and perimeter defense as well. So that's the pros to Scottie Pippen. Now you guys might be asking, okay, Ty, so what are the downsides? Well, with Scottie, there's only one real downside. It's that he just doesn't move that well. Pro 2 leaner is fantastic. Again, with the duo, he becomes even better. I love Scottie Pippen. I just do not think I can put him above my number 1 Diamond LeBron James. And I gas LeBron more than anybody else, and that is okay. I'm perfectly okay with that because I've used this card for so long. When you compare LeBron stat-wise to even like a Karl, Malone, Scottie Pippen, he's not going to look the same. What I would say is Bron's player build is absolutely elite, and his release is the easiest to green in the entire game. Meanwhile, he can basically get every badge in the entire game, so he comes with, a ridiculous amount of badges. And if you do apply the right badges, he can get 5 more, so you can give him slippery off ball, you can give him corner specialist, rise up, all those badges that you might want. In my opinion, King James, the most complete small forward still to this game. Now, again, when you compare him side by side to Scottie Pippen looks way better. And you know what? Scottie Pippen might be better than LeBron James, but the player build matters. And I still think LeBron has that slight edge. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for putting LeBron at number 1, but if that's who I'm running, like if 250K was today, Bron would be my starting small forward. Let me know your thoughts on my top 10 small forwards down below in the comments. Who is I too high on? Who is I too low on? And ultimately, who did I leave off the list that you guys would have included? Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.